Champagne Lady here, and Batley Burton, here with another few little ideas about champagne. Hopefully you're going to learn something. For those of you who aren't aware, champagne must come from the region Champagne. It's terribly important. So often people say, oh, would you like some champagne? And I'll always say, oh yes, and which one is it? And then we'll find that it's bubbles, it's not champagne at all. That's why I get extremely irritated when people will then say, oh, would you like some bubbles? And I'll say, no, I don't want bubbles, I want champagne. So if you're a champagne lover like me, and you probably are if you're watching this, that's something to always remember and just check on. And to be called champagne, it doesn't only have to come from the region Champagne in France. It also has to adhere to quite a strict range of guidelines. One of them being that it has to be made from one or more of the 3 champagne grape varieties. 2 of them are red and 1 of them is white. So we have the Pinot Meunier, which sort of gives freshness and fruit. We have the Pinot Noir, another red grape variety, which gives strength and power. And then we have the Chardonnay, which is my absolute favorite, which gives effervescence, elegance, minerality, also freshness, but really it's quite a lean champagne. It's not as fat as some of the others, if you understand my meaning. It's just got the most beautiful refinement, elegance, as I say, citrusy characters. You often see the Chardonnay grape has a more sort of citrusy, lemony look to it. The bubbles are the finest of all. And for me, it is my absolute favorite. So a Blanc de Blanc, which means white of the whites, that is 100% Chardonnay, rather than a blend or an assemblage, as they call it, of 3 different grape varieties. So the other important thing is, with champagne, it differs from a wine. Normally when you have a wine, obviously it's a vintage. It's 2021, it's 2019, it's whatever it happens to be. With champagne, it's always an assemblage. And generally for a really good champagne house, they have reserves of wine, because it's a still wine in the original state, of course. You will have at least 3 years of reserve, which means that, because people expect for champagne, a non-vintage champagne, to taste the same every year. If they get a Jacquard or a Taittinger or a Louis Roth or whatever it happens to be, they expect it to taste the same year after year after year. If it's a vintage, now that's another matter, because that is the wine coming from one particularly good vintage. But otherwise, it's an assemblage of a number of years of reserve stock, teamed with your current stock of juice, wine, and it's blended and it's always going to taste as similar as possible year after year. As with a wine, as you know, you expect the wine to be different one year after the other, because it's different climatic conditions, and obviously the wine is going to taste different. And as always, please remember to drink responsibly. Cheers.